Thank you, Rahul. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try and be brief. Politicians you keep hearing all the time, but I'm sure you want to hear Priyanka, and we've discussed that she'll take maximum amount of time amongst all of us to speak to all of you here. But being a politician, I have, in the past 10 years now, interacted with a lot of people in all spheres of life, be it sports, films, business, and one conclusion I draw is that the youth is in the forefront of all these spheres. We've seen the youth coming out in terms of making small businesses, to media, to agriculture, to technology, and we've also seen over the years that there have been a lot of small NGOs where you see that primarily the youth is involved in trying to make a difference in whatever little way they can. And being a politician, in India we've seen that if you want to make change, it's the politician who has to make the change. Maybe the other fields as well, but the whole impression is that you have to be an MP, a minister, or an MLA. Then only can you sort of drive change and be an instrument of change. And that's the wrong notion. But however, in politics as well, we've been seeing that there's been a flurry of entry of the youth that's coming in, and you might say that we only see some politicians' sons who've actually made it to big positions like me. But on the ground, if you go deeper into the strata, you'll see that the politicians are emerging, they're youths who are coming at the grassroots rural level, they're coming at the village level, they're coming in the legislative assemblies, and that's what's making the difference. And we've seen, and India has not been new to the youth phenomena, where when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi became one of the youngest prime ministers, and he ensured that the voting percentage and the voting age was reduced from 21 to 18, and that was the time that gave the youth the actual power to vote and make a difference and make a change in whatever way they would think. And that's what, when he came in, we also saw that there was the IT revolution, there was the aviation sector was booming, and at that time he got into the Panchayati Raj institution and empowering the people on the ground. And those were revolutionary changes which as a young prime minister, the youth prime minister, he sort of brought it at 25 years back. And those are equally relevant today. We see today when you go out and the impression that you carry of modern India, you see young boys and girls in campuses, Infosys, college campuses, trying to earn a living. And then you realize that those kids and those children and those youths don't more carry any burden of any caste tag, any sort of finger pointing in what your parents do and what your profession of your father and mother is. We've seen a whole new India that's coming alive over these past few years. I also want to dwell on certain other aspects where we've seen that the common complaint, as Rahul said, that the youth is not being represented in terms of how much youth there is in this country today. But that's the common complaint, that we don't see too many people in prime positions who are young. But that's always been the case, because political parties don't necessarily decide on the basis of statistics. Political parties in India make sure that they are representing and they are catering to the social compositions and the social values that our country is all made up about. If we were to just look at a representative sort of, as much use there is in the society, that much representation, that would be a big change. And that would sort of be an upheaval, which is not correct in terms of the way India thinks.